So welcome to Ancient Expansions, we're back. This is our first Stone Circle for 2023 and what a beautiful one it is. We're working with the super new moon energies, so we've been reflecting on our last Stone Circle and the experiences that we go through on an emotional and an energetic level. After that month, we go through a whole process each month. I was saying earlier that I love the work that we do, because every month it's like a point in life where you can reflect back and see how much you've grown and changed and expanded in just that 1 month alone. The yearly ones are awesome, but on a monthly it's epic. The journey is epic, and when you think you can't expand anymore, or it's like, oh, we've got to that, it's like, oh no, there's so much more, just keep going. And we was reflecting on that. I'm skidding myself. And the energy of last month was really interesting because we all shared similar experiences, right?
Yeah, we did.
Even though I live in the north and you guys live in the south, we've gone off to back to our little worlds where we're experiencing these depths of emotions that bring stuff out in us that we need to grow and to learn and to expand from. Difficulties that we have with relationships, with loved ones, accepting, understanding, navigating our way through our family structures, and remembering that in that time and space that our families are there purposely, for this growth and expansion for us. And so if we try and block that energy, we're blocking that energy from working within us. So it's opening ourselves up to that so that we can fully receive what it is that we're needing to get from the lesson, from the growth for our own personal expansion. And so it's been really interesting how we've been experiencing similar things. And the lesson for me in what I take from all of this is that if there is anybody that you're experiencing a difficult connection with or a different relationship with, that person's come into your life to bring that lesson to you, be it where you need to be stronger or where you need to create more boundaries, that the energy is pushing you in a place where you have something within you that you need to bring that energy out. And so when we see and experience these difficult situations that we can find ourselves in, and we can see it in that way, it's really working for us, and so it changes our energy of it. Because when we step back into ourselves and we say, right, okay, if I can work with this energy, how can it change me from within? How can it benefit my life? Why is this happening? And bringing that understanding to that root system of self, we grow from that place. And so that's what it's been. It's been major growth for me in lessons in love, for my self-love, for all of that. And it's getting that healthy place within, so then that emanates out from there, and we can grow healthy and not be impacted by the negativity, because it's bringing something positive with it. So therefore it's not. It all is exactly as it's meant to be, and it's nurturing and working with that energy as it is that's been a big thing for me this month, and bringing that energy back to gratitude and bringing it back to love and acceptance and growing from that point. That's where I'm at from my last experience. I'm sure I'll be at there again. It's not like you just do it once and then that's it, it's done, there's layers, there's depths to it, and it's like the ocean, you go down but you come up a little bit, you come up, you rise and rise and rise, you look for air, and it's diving deep, and it's a beautiful journey. And so having that monthly PowerPoint to go to, because this is what earthwork really is. We see earthwork as something that's external to ourselves, but when we change our energy within, that emanates out and affects the earth. So when you really want to do something for earthwork, do something in yourself, change that vibration in yourself, because that's really where it's at. And that's where it emanates out from there. And when we expand, each time we come to these places, the gift is that little bit more of expansion and understanding and wisdom and ancient holding that these beautiful places hold. And here we are, feeling blessed, awesome, beautiful sunny day, and what a way to kick off this new year. Talia, tell us all about it.
Right, where do we start? Okay, so
from last month to this month we've been under a retrograde and many portals as well. So of course it's bringing up all old energy. It's been focused on things that testing to see if I have kept boundaries in place. And to be quite honest, I haven't, and I'm admitting that because
it actually started on the day.
It actually did. When we finished the solstice at Stonehenge, there's all the camper vans that were all leaving, all lined up there the night before, and was chatting with these really beautiful people we met. But this guy just came out of nowhere, and a lot of insults were being flown around the place, and then somehow I ended up being stuck in this conversation with this guy for must have been about an hour and a half. And you know, I kept trying to say, I'm sorry, but I need to go, and it was almost like there was a male dominance energy going on there, and I kept trying to come away. And as the time was going on, my energy was just getting drained out. I thought, you know, I'm standing there spiritually trying to protect myself, but it wasn't enough. It was the physical boundary. We can set these things more externally, but if we're not actually projecting it out there, then we're not manifesting it into this physical reality. So after that hour and a half wasted of our time,
but it was a good lesson though,
it
right?
was a good lesson. It wasn't
a
waste in the sense of the lesson that came out of it. I ended up being angry with myself after and depleted because I allowed it to go on for so long, and that's where I felt the waste and the resentment towards that, because it was me who allowed that to happen. And I could have been angry at that guy, but really he was just trying to look for someone to express to, and that's fine. But you know, I allowed my energy to be taken and extracted. So after that happened, the rest of the day I was completely flat out, and I felt like it kind of put a damp on the experience. But again, that was how I took it, and that I needed to work on that. So the lesson started from the minute the solstice was celebrations were done. And then through that month, several boundaries kept coming up with people around me. It was the same sort of vibration of people projecting their stuff, and me not being able to have a word in or to have a breather. And so now, you know, I've always been that person to suffer it and take it on internally, but now self-expression of just, you don't have to come with any aggression, and that's what I've learned. You can still do it with compassion and love, and that allows you to speak from your heart where people can understand and listen. So doing that has allowed me to step into that and realise it's actually okay to express. If someone's going to get offended, that's not for yours to take on. It's setting those boundaries for yourself. So it's been a really big month of that for me. And on top of the retrograde, bringing in other old energies to deal with, such as forgiveness or carrying guilt or carrying blame externally, and just trying to now bring that all back in. And we're under a new moon now as well, so it's reflecting all of that today while we're working with the land and receiving the beautiful wisdom that will come through. And let's see where next month takes us with that.
Nice.
So yeah, it's been tough but beautiful.
Beautiful, always beautiful. Come on, Chris.
Yes. Well, right off the bat, as soon as we came back from Stonehenge, I had a lot to process. I knew I had a lot of work to get through, spiritually, mentally, emotionally. And for me, it felt like I needed to create the space to do that. And it's always great when we're in this vibration, when we're here at the ancient sites, and you're really just feeling that frequency. It feels like home. It feels like you can get a lot of your headspace clear and just connect to earth. But then there's this, it's like this filter when you do head back, and you're now back into the reality, and things get heavy. It's easy to get wrapped up in our little habits that we have, and we might not be conscious of it. So what we found was things didn't feel right. So me and Talia went through this weird week of it was like anger and just trying to understand it all, and we just had to be honest. We had to just completely get to the core of problems, and in the end we ended up literally just getting rid of our TV, getting rid of the consoles,
Get rid of that. Sold everything.
Just completely cleared the clutter that was actually, like Suzie says, you got to be minimalistic, right? So that we could feel clean before you're about to enter a big project. So we cleared the space up, which allowed us to just connect, sit. Obviously we had candles, our crystals, we made a nice altar. So it created that sacred space where now we could, instead of being consumed from the TV and all these distractions that we find don't actually entertain us or give us any value, we thought this is a chance for us to create the reality we want, create the energy that we're trying to manifest in for our future. And we had some of the deepest talks about everything. We went down the whole rabbit hole.
3-4 hours
Oh,
long.
little Robin's just come right beside us. Oh, hello, little chap. Oh, sorry, Chris.
That's all right. Yeah, we ended up having a really deep matrix chat about everything, and we got to the...
Listening to us.
Still listening.
It's so close, this little Robin. It's grab the camera. Oh,
just
he's gone now. Sorry, guys. It's a
He keeps
moment.
coming up to
He's
us.
still there. Yeah, he's lovely. Aww. Should we do it again just for effect?
And we just created the vibes that we needed to sit with things and to actually create a structure. And it was just being honest with ourselves. It was, again, identifying the habits, the patterns, what consumes you, what is consciously pulling you away from your higher purpose, or giving time to yourself to transform. Because I knew I was coming back to so much that we discussed, all the plant medicine we did and the amazing people we met. I was consciously thinking of all of them and all the lessons I took on board, but it was time to apply it. And if we come back to distractions, it would never get complete. So it was like a reminder. It was almost like this cycle happened where we were getting tested, and we had to commit to it this time because it was another chance to. And it was a test to see how far we've come, what else we need to apply. Because like Suzie said, it's not a one-time thing, you're healed, boom, move on to the next. It's always going to come back full circle to see if we have evolved, if there's anything else we can add value to. So yeah, we went through some ups, some downs, and like you said, it's this new moon. We're here to put the right intentions out now, and I feel like it's time to release, give thanks, give more forgiveness.
The gratitude's been a big one.
Yeah, we really, really reconnected back to gratitude, because it's very easy to let that slip. And once you let that slip, your whole reality around you can start to crumble. So,
Well, you're going into victim then, aren't you?
Exactly, you enter victim mode, and then that's just...
You're on a downhill spiral from there.
Yeah, it's been really good. Very eye-opening, and I feel like we've created the space now, so there's a lot of work that can begin.
Ooh. Keep expanding.